I like to believe that Stephen's been putting his stuff together in a good way, and no reason to think he can't come home here and do it again tonight.
Here's Todd Cunningham, who will step into the batter's box to get this thing started. First pitch tonight at 7:02, and we are underway. The first pitch from Fife is going to be a strike.
Fife's a four-pitch guy. He'll use them all.
Pitch taken for a strike, and it's now quickly no balls and two strikes.
We've seen his fastball, topping out 92, 93. That's good velocity, useful velocity for Fife. Who can, he can throw you the breaking ball when he wants to and change up.
1 ball and 2 strikes now to the batter, Todd Cunningham. Fife comes set, Fife delivers, and the pitch going to miss inside here for a ball, and the count evens now at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Cunningham, a switch hitter for them, who plays all over the place. He'll slip into the infield tonight. He's playing out in right field.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 got him.
Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Liking that.
So a strikeout of Cunningham, and it brings up Nick Martini.
Fife's a fun guy to talk to. He's a really bright guy, and, he just has his wherewithal. You feel like here's a guy that's been around a while. He's pitched in the big leagues.
Pitch taken here for a pitch outside for ball 1.
And as you mentioned, he went on a pretty good run for the Baby Cakes before that rough one in Round Rock.
1-0 pitch taken here for a strike, and the count evens up now to the ball and a strike. 1-1 now to the batter, Nick Martini.
Fife, a guy that had a couple of big league appearances with the L.A. Dodgers when he was in that organization. He was up in 2012, 2014, 13, 14.
2-1 pitch, ground ball right side. First baseman is up with it in Barnes. Flips it. And there's 2 up and 2 down here in the first.
So 2 hitters, a strikeout, and some soft contact. We like all of that.
So with 2 down, it's going to bring to the plate the first baseman, Luke Voigt. So Voigt will step in. .320 batting average, 8 home runs, 34 runs batted in.
I believe he's like second in the league in doubles. This is a guy that just big, strong, right-handed hitter. Gets the head of the bat out on you.
He was a late addition to the lineup yesterday. Chad Huffman was a late scratch, hauled up to the big leagues.
Well, there you go.
First time he's back in the big leagues after 7 years in between his last stint.
Well, that's wonderful. Voigt leads the league, the PCO, with 19 doubles.
1-0 pitch going to be popped up down the right field line. Giving it chase is the first baseman, Barnes, but that one is into the seats.
You got a first baseman, Barnes, who can play center field and moves on the ball very well. So you feel it. He gives you range at first base with the wind blowing down into the right field corner. He might have to run down there on the home mound of the home bullpen and make a play for you.
Ball and a strike here in the 1-1. Big swing and a miss here for strike 2, and it's now a ball and 2 strikes.
Looks like there's a little movement on his fastball, too. He's some natural cut on it.
1-2 now to the batter, Luke Voigt, and the 1-2 pitch is going to be swung on and fouled back, and we'll try it again now with the count being a ball and 2 strikes.
It's a good hitting team, and you got to wonder, they're bunch of big right-handed hitters that lunch on left-handed pitching, and 2 lefties have beaten them, and Fife has a solid first inning.
Chased after that, swung out and missed for strike 3 in the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. Good start. Redbirds go in order. Kinks coming to bat on Fox Sports 1280.
New name, new team, same great game. Kinks baseball lives here. Fox Sports 1280.
Back here at the ballpark, Kinks and the Redbirds. Our ball game is going to move into the bottom of the first inning. Let's run you through the starting lineup today for New Orleans, as it'll look like this. Leading things off is going to be Nick Noonan. Then it'll be Chad Hinshaw, one of the heroes of yesterday's ball game. Batting third is the right fielder, Moises Sierra. Then you got the middle order with his Destin Hood, Mike Aviles, and Brendan Barnes. Bottom third is Ramon Cabrera, Peter Mooney, and Stephen Fife, rounding out the starting 9. To face the starting pitcher today from Memphis, young Jack Flaherty, 21 years of age, from Sherman Oaks, California.
Yep, signed out of high school in L.A. He had 2 first-round picks on his high school baseball team, and he was the third baseman. The Cardinals came in there and with $2 million convinced him to sign as a pitcher. Now, you know, offer me $2 million, you could probably talk me into a lot of things.
He was going to play collegiately at North Carolina, but $2 million talked him out of that, as the pitch is going to be taken here for strike 1-1.
Can't imagine he thought about it for a whole lot of time. You know, and he comes in with, you know, he hadn't pitched that much in high school, but he had great arm.
1-1 pitch going to be popped up into the seats on the third base side. Foul.
They just felt like this is somebody that could develop into a pitcher. When you're looking at a guy 6'4" and, you know, just solid equipment. 6'4", 205. I mean, you look at him, you go, if you sculpted a pitcher in your fantasy league, he'd look just like Jack Flaherty as he threw a fastball on the hands of Nick Noonan, who's scuffling a little bit as we speak. Nick 4 for his last 33 at-bats. That's about 121 worth. So
does not have a hit in the series. 0 for 7 here against these Redbirds. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's a pretty good pitching staff, too. You know, a bunch of prospects on it. We've seen them as Noonan can't catch up with that heater. And he's the K.
So Noonan is a strikeout victim. So with 1 down, it brings up the center fielder, Chad Hinshaw. Well, Hinshaw with the big home run yesterday, 2 for 9 in the series, batting .273 for the season. But that 2-run home run in the 8th inning, the difference in the ball game.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I wasn't ready to see that. I'll be honest with you. I thought, boy, we're done. 2 outs, you know, pretty solid relief pitcher in there, and you know, you're thinking, man, we put up a heck of a fight here. O'Grady threw pretty solid 6 innings out there, but we're going to lose this darn ball game, and bang.
Ball and a strike, and the 1-1 pitch going to be taken here for ball. It's now 2 balls and a strike.
Hinshaw launched, and we had a 1-run lead. Ran Drew Steckenrider out there, and he lit him up. 1, 2, 3, and we were in the books.
2-1 pitch, grounded towards short. Tovar bailed out of the way of that one, and it's into left field.
No gracias.
Well, that was a hard-hit ball that you wanted no part of if you're the shortstop.
That was a widowmaker, and you're right. He bailed. He pulled the ripcord. He fell off and away from that ugly-looking one-hopper that Hinshaw hit right on the button. Got to call it a base hit.
It is scored a hit as Moises Sierra will step into the batter's box here.
Tovar just happy it didn't find a piece of him. That thing was stung.
Pitch here to Sierra, who had a home run earlier in the series. Moises didn't play yesterday until late, came in and had a base hit. But it was Sierra 2 nights ago that had 2 hits, including a critical 2-run home run in that ball game.
A couple of bombs in his last 5 games and 6 RBIs has Sierra. 5 for 18, but he's produced some runs. He almost hit one out of here, a 3-run shot in game 1 that would have put the Baby Cakes up by a run. It just didn't get out, but it was close as he check swings a foul ball straight back. This is not the greatest time in the world to be up at home plate with a pretty good arm out there on the mound. The background is all lit up by the sun going down in the west, and it's not the best background to hit again.
1 ball and 1 strike now to the batter, Sierra, and the 1-1 pitch is going to miss here for ball 2. And it's now 2 balls and a strike now to the batter, Moises Sierra.
Curveball looked like it just missed. Looked like it had a little bite to it, but missed the strike zone.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and a fly ball lifted into left.
Wow.
Nick Martini drifting over, and he's going to get underneath it and make the catch.
Lofted up in the air. He had a pretty good swing at that ball, and the wind is blowing a little bit in from left field. Not ferocious like it was the other day, but that ball wasn't leaving here under any circumstances, but it was a just misser by Sierra as Destin Hood steps in.
So with 2 down, Hood 3 for 10 in the series.
Tied for 5th place on the list for home runs in the PCL with 14. Had one yesterday. Man, he just hit a line drive over the right field fence, and that was where that wind was blowing down into the right field corner, about 2 clubs worth, to use a golf expression, but he got it up in the air straight at the right fielder, and out of here she went.
Pitch going to miss here, and it's now ball and no strikes. Yeah, Destin, I mean, he used the weather to his advantage yesterday. When he first hit it, it looked like he hit it pretty well. I didn't think he had enough of it to get out, and man, did it just fly.
Yeah, I felt the same way because it never got any altitude. It just never stopped, and that was fun to watch. You're like, you watch that right fielder, and he goes back, and ran out of ballpark, and you're like, oh, I like that. We got the lead, and then, of course, we lost the lead when Patrick Wisdom hit one out.
Pitch going to be taken here for a strike.
And then Chad Hinshaw put his little tap on it with 2 outs, as we were talking about, in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Steckenrider shut the door, and it was a fun close to the day's activities.
2-1 pitch ripped to left field, just out of reach of the leaping third baseman Wisdom, and we got a 2-out hit, second hit of the inning for the Cakes. So Hinshaw stops at second base, and Destin Hood's aboard with a base hit.
Yeah, he left a breaking ball a little bit out over the plate, and Hoodie a little bit out in front of it before he barreled it up pretty good, hit it hard.
So here's Mike Aviles, who will step into the batter's box. Now Aviles.
Fun talking to Mike yesterday in our pregame for that 11 a.m. job.
He had a couple hits in the game yesterday. Aviles takes the first pitch here for a strike.
Well, he's been good to have around. You know what? His attitude makes you feel like playing. Here's a guy, 36 years old, ton of big league time, who shows up like every day's the most important day of his life, and it's AAA baseball. And, if you're playing here with him and watching him go about it like that, you're like, I think that's how you're supposed to do this.
1 ball and 1 strike now. And the 1-1 delivery going to be swung through and missed here for a strike. It's now a ball and 2 strikes.
Mike, 9 for his last 24. That's about 8 games worth. So he's been real useful at home plate. That was a tough curveball he swung at there.
1-2 pitch going to be ground ball hit towards third. It's going to be picked up by the third baseman Wisdom. Steps on the bag for the outs. And the inning is over. No runs, couple of hits, couple of men left. We played an inning. Redbirds and Cakes scoreless. Fox Sports 1280. Cakes and Redbirds. We played an inning here, and it is a scoreless ball game between the Redbirds and Cakes. Catcher Carson Kelly will step into the batter's box to lead things off here for Memphis.
Yeah, this is a gorgeous night, and you wonder if, yesterday you play that 11 o'clock game and everybody has a normal evening to themselves. You get a little more rest, and as Carson Kelly, their prospect catcher, takes a strike, you feel like it might put a little Christmas in everybody's action. Mike Matheny, who manages the big club, the St. Louis Cardinals, wrote a book on, sort of Cardinal, what he expected. One of the chapters in his book was on what he thought the attributes of a good catcher were. They say Carson Kelly adopted all of them.
0-2 pitch, missing away here for a ball. This kid's just 22 years of age, a second-round pick back in 2012.
Yeah, and he's shown a little bit of offense, too, which I think has surprised people some at this level.
Pitch going to be swung on and missed here for strike 3.
Yeah, he elevated a fastball that time. You look very sharp. Fife's fastball's got a little giddy up on it, and he's locating it. That was up in the zone, and a four-seamer, I believe, and Carson couldn't catch up to it.
So here comes Harrison Bader, who will step into the batter's box.
Starts him off with a breaking ball, and it's Bader's one of those guys that he can, he's moving through the system quickly, and he can fly, play center field for you, and go get him.
One ball and one strike. And the 1-1 delivery here, and it's going to be rolled up the line foul, and we'll try it again now with the count being at 1-2 strikes.
Bader, a 3-year starter at the University of Florida, and of course in the SEC. That's some pretty good baseball. Signed for $400,000.
1-2 pitch going to be popped him up. Foul ground, first base side. Giving it chase is Brandon Barnes, but this one is going to be into the seats.
Bader, a guy who can run a little bit, probably still learning how to steal a base. He's stolen 3, he's been thrown out 5 times. It's not all about speed.
1-2 pitch, got him swinging. It's a strikeout. Carson Kelly and Harrison Bader retired here in the second inning. So quickly, 2 up and 2 down.
4 strikeouts for Fife.
This will bring up the third baseman, Patrick Wisdom.
Thought that home run he hit yesterday against the wind.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the game winner.
Woo. Well, he answered Destin Hood's bomb to right field. He hit it up in the air as Wisdom takes a fastball strike.
I mean, he had some velocity on it. His bat speed was 110.
Yeah.
The ball was just absolutely annihilated.
I mean, it was up in the air, though, too. You had a long time to look at it, and I thought, boy, that wind's beating on it for a long time. But Destin Hood went back to the wall. He made a leaping try, and that thing got out of here. But you were like, wow. You had to hit it so hard to hit it that high and get it out of here.
1-1 strike now to the batter, and the 1-1 pitch going to miss here for ball 2. It's now 2 balls.
Wisdom came in here. You know, he was scuffling a little bit, but the guy's got 10 home runs now, 34 runs driven in.
2-1 pitch going to be popped him up. Shallow center field, second baseman heading out, center fielder coming in, and it's Chad Hinshaw who gets underneath it, and he makes the catch, and the inning is over. 1-2-3, and a good start for Stephen Fife. He's faced 6 batters. He's retired all 6. We played an inning and a half. Redbirds and Cakes scoreless on Fox Sports 1280. Inning and a half of baseball in the books. Redbirds and Cakes are scoreless. Ball game moves to the bottom of the second inning. Stepping in to lead things off here for New Orleans is going to be the first baseman, Brandon Barnes. So Barnes will step in. Has not played back-to-back games. Played in game 1 of the series, was 1 for 4.
Yeah, it gives you, they've given him that first baseman's mitt, moved him over there, and he's done all right. Guy can play center field for you, play the corner positions if you need him to. That's handy. Big league time with Houston a couple of years, Colorado a couple of years. Got some good native speed.
Pitch here from Flaherty. It's going to be taken here for a strike. 0-1.
Starting him off, look like a slider. You like it when you see a young kid who's willing to use his off-speed stuff early in the count. That was a changeup, so now he's got you 0-2, and he hadn't really thrown you his best fastball yet. On a night when, as we said, not easy to see with the background lit up still.
That should go away here shortly, you would presume.
Yep. Lights are on, but of little effect right now to the naked eye. Sure, they help a little bit.
Ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 pitch going to miss here for a ball. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, we saw Luke Weaver and, pretty good right-handed pitcher for them, too, in Gonzalez, Marco Gonzalez.
2-2 pitch swung through and struck him out. Brandon Barnes is a strikeout victim.
There was some pretty good velocity on that fastball. We mentioned he had thrown him a lot of off-speed stuff. The first 3 pitches was ahead of him, and then gave him a good 4-seamer. See you later.
Second strikeout for Flaherty. Flaherty struck out 62 batters in 63 innings this season while pitching at AA. It's a guy that's moved up the system pretty quickly.
Yeah, you know what? They've given him opportunities. This is pretty quick movement for a 21-year-old.
Yep, line shot hit at the shortstop, ranged over and made the catch. They were a little bit slow. He got drafted in 14. He went to the Gulf Coast League. 15, they kept him in short season. 16, he pitched the entire year down in what they call advanced single A, the Florida State League. One would have thought that he would have probably spent all of this year in AA, and here he is in early June in AAA.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously they see something.
I guess they felt like he dominated the AA at Springfield in the Texas League to a point where it's like, you know what? He's proven his point. Let's move him.
Yep, so they saw something that they liked. They went right for it.
Probably that 1.9 something ERA or whatever he had down there was pretty impressive. I'll tell you that.
That's for sure. The numbers are pretty good.
1.42, even better. Yeah, that would suggest that.
Ground ball right side. Second baseman Breivik Valera is up with it. He's going to toss it on to first base. And the Cakes go in order here. 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. Ball game will go to the third. It's the Cakes and the Redbirds. Scoreless. Fox Sports 1280. Cakes and Redbirds scoreless at the end of 2. Arnie Paylor looking on from the first base dugout.
I know Arnie likes winning 2 in a row. Arnie likes winning, period. But he's had to scuffle a little bit with it this year. When you be honest, when you don't have the tools, it takes a lot more effort. Guys have to work a lot harder, I think, at focusing and getting themselves all their energy and intelligence into the moment, to get everything you can get out of the players you have. And I feel like we're seeing a little bit more of that. It's been fun, and you get Adam Conley, a left-handed pitcher, down from the big leagues, getting his stuff together. He goes 0-2 on Valera. Fife on a good run for you. Chris O'Grady yesterday, really.
Ground ball back to the mound. Fife, bare hand, hurries it, throws it on to first base for the out.
Little roller. You like that. His outs have been soft, and he struck out 4 guys. So, man.
This will bring up the shortstop, Wilfredo Tovar. So Tovar will step in. Scoreless game here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Yeah.
The pitch here to Tovar going to be taken here for strike 1.
And Baby Cakes have a couple of base hits off of Jack Flaherty, but he's still shown me something. But Fife has been a little sharper, I think.
Pitch missing outside.
This is more like the guy we saw on that run of winning 3 straight games.
1 ball and 1 strike now, and the 1-1 pitch going to miss for ball 2, and it's now 2 balls and a strike. Fife's last outing was in Round Rock. We lost that ball game 4-2. This one fouled back. We gave up a couple of runs in the 3rd, and then he got nicked up on a 2-run home run in the 5th off of Drew Robinson.
Yeah, here's where, if you had a team that, scored 5 runs and you won the thing, you could easily have done that. He's lost.
You could easily sit here and say he's still pitching well.
How about this? He just dropped a snake on Tovar, strike 3. Curveball, locked him up. Nice.
And it's going to be a strikeout. And that brings up the pitcher, Jack Flaherty.
Well, you would think since he played 3rd base and was apparently pretty good, maybe he can hit a little bit. But he hadn't got one at this level. That's no surprise. Only his 2nd game at the AAA level.
Pitch to Flaherty is going to be taken. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike.
You look at most of the guys at this level are mid to upper 20s. We've got some 30-year-olds as well.
The 1-1 pitch going to be grounded foul, and we'll try it again now with the count being a ball and 2 strikes.
So when you march out there like Jack Flaherty at the age of 21, you really are, you are the baby in the bunch.
Yes, you are.
But, he brings some pretty good-looking stuff to the party. So
1-2 pitch called, 3rd strike.
He got a curveball and didn't like it.
In the inning, no runs, no hits, nobody left on base. Our ball game is going to head to the bottom of inning number 3. Redbirds and Cakes. Scoreless on Fox Sports 1280.
This is Fox Sports 1280, your home for the New Orleans Baby Cakes.
Back here at the ballpark, Cakes and the Memphis Redbirds. We get ready for the bottom of the 3rd inning. We'd like to welcome into the booth assistant basketball coach for the Tulane Green Wave, Dosha Woods, and welcome to the ballpark. It's good to see you in baseball mode.
Absolutely. The weather is great, so that definitely helps. Different than outside. Used to, our dimensions on the court, but it's great to be here for sure.
Dosha, you're not the coach. You're the starting point guard. Now stop it. You look like you're ready to go. You look like you're about 20.
I'm a lot older than I look way back, but the players definitely get a kick out of asking, "What position do you play?" They all start laughing, so I appreciate the compliment.
Well, you do look like you could go out there and run up and down that floor a little bit.
I try to stay healthy.
Stephen Fife will step in. Well, I have to compliment Colby Morgan had a better first pitch than I did, and I think a better one than Lisa Stockton, right?
Well, if we want to review the tape, possibly. possibly.
Lisa, of course, is the head basketball coach at Tulane. Is the pitch going to be taken here for a ball? I've never seen Lisa's. I've only been given the play-by-play of it. So
yes, I don't think it quite made it there. And to Lisa's credit, and I'm not sure what your youth was, but Colby actually played baseball. So that's a little bit more natural for her. So she was pretty excited to throw it out.
1-1 pitch swung out and missed here for strike 2. It's now a ball and 2 strikes.
I think we should have set up a hoop and give her a basketball, cool. Let her take a free throw from the...
That would have been a great idea.
That would have been really cool.
Next time.
What was it last year? Lori Hernandez, the gymnast, got a chance to throw a first pitch, and she did some sort of tumbleweed. She did some sort of cartwheel.
I don't know if we want to go that far, but the basketball hoop was a great idea.
But no, I'm just saying how someone brought their sport to the first pitch is what I was going at, is the pitch. A strikeout for Fife. 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. Well, it's great to have the women's basketball team here. You got a little bit of the players here. This is the off season. I'm sure most of your players are probably in their home area, home states or even home country for a couple of your players.
Yes, absolutely. We actually have 13 new, 13 on the team next year. We have 10 here for the summer, and we do have Kayla Manu Itirangi, who's actually trying out for the senior national team in New Zealand. So she's not here. But yeah, we have 10 people here, 3 Kaylas from 3 different countries, spelled 3 different ways.
Where are you from, Miss Dosha? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Kansas.
All right.
I am a Kansas girl.
We're not in Kansas anymore.
No, we're not.
When you came to Louisiana, this isn't Kansas anymore.
Not. And I love that. Been here 7 seasons now working for Lisa. We're getting ready to start 8, so for sure.
Perfect.
Pitch inside here for a ball. It's now 2 balls and a strike now to the batter, Nick Noonan. Scoreless ball game here in the bottom of the 3rd with the Shrine on Airline. Cakes and Redbirds. We're joined here with basketball coach for the Tulane Green Wave, Dosha Woods. Here's a ground ball right side. Lunging spot by Valera from his knees. He throws to first base in time for the out. And Breivik Valera robs Nick Noonan of the base hit for out there.
That was a pretty good play, diving to his left side. Dosha, when I was in high school, they wouldn't let the women run on both sides of the floor. We had 6 players, and they couldn't cross the mid-court line because
you brought that up.
Make them sweat too much.
Well, thank God times have changed because we actually have a pretty good program, and I don't know what we would do if we couldn't run up and down the floor. That's part of our game.
Oh, yeah.
You're kind of dating yourself when you go back to the...
Yeah, you go back to the Truman administration or whenever it was.
I'm talking early 1960s in that previous century.
Oh, wow.
But that was what happened, girls basketball in high school when I was there. And you could only dribble the ball twice, and you had to pass it. That's a crazy game that fortunately you missed that one.
0-2 pitch.
You're very fortunate.
Up and away here for a ball. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Great year. I mean, you guys missed the NCAA tournament, but went to the NIT and had a pretty good run.
We did. We kind of had a letdown after our, as some people call it, the UConn scare. We played them close, and it was a great game to be a part of. And, of course, everybody's lives would have changed if we would have turned a corner. And I think it was a little letdown after that, but it was great to salvage what we did in postseason play and make it pretty much for the 8th straight year.
Up until the Final Four, no one gave a UConn a bigger scare than you guys did.
You know, it is crazy. You know, it's also in conjunction with our big convention. So walking around with my Tulane gear, that was the first thing everyone said. Your UConn game, a lot of our fellow colleagues had their players team dinners watching the game, and everybody's rooting for us. Well, we still lost the game, but no, you didn't. You know, it still shows as a loss. But it was a great experience. I think it gave us a lot of confidence, especially in postseason play.
2 balls and 2 strikes now to the batter, Chad Hinshaw. We're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Cakes and Redbirds scoreless. While it was an electric atmosphere, the arena was packed, and wow, it was pretty incredible to see you guys come so close to beating them. Lunging spot by Voigt, picks it up, flips it to the pitcher, and that's some very good defense, not once, but twice on the right side of the infield. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We head to the top of the 4th. Redbirds and Cakes on Fox Sports 1280. 3 innings in the books. Cakes and Redbirds, scoreless ball game. We've had some pretty good defensive plays last inning as a really nice play by the first baseman, Voigt, knocking it down and flipping it to the pitcher covering. We're joined here with one of the assistant coaches uptown with the Tulane women's basketball, Dosha Woods, as Todd Cunningham comes up to bat. We were talking about that incredible game against UConn, but there were some other great highlights last season for your ball club, and you lose a pretty good ball player in Leslie Vorpal, as here's a fly ball into right field, and Moises Sierra is there to make the catch, but you guys got a lot of new players on the team and a couple of names I don't know how to say.
Yes, it's going to take some time. You know, losing Leslie is going to be tough. She played a ton of minutes for us, played the point guard, and next year we'll have 2 Kaylas, a New Zealand Kayla, American Kayla, a freshman and sophomore, trying to fill that void.
I wish we would have scribbled down Manu Idarangi's name and see if Swoboda could have pronounced it.
Oh, yes. Good luck
I would have no
one.
chance. But I'm so glad you did a few games for them, Tim.
And it took me a while to get that name down. I actually talked to Kayla for quite a bit to work on that.
And then with her accent, too, it's kind of hard. I practice, and I don't think I still say it correctly, so I understand.
Well, basketball being such a international game, you know, so the diversity just comes with the fact that it's an international game, and you kind of look all over for talent, I would imagine.
Yes. As Grubbs mentioned before, we have 5 new ones next year and 1 from Spain, actually. So we'll have Spanish, New Zealand, Canadian, and Serbian on the team.
Awesome.
2 balls and a strike now to the batter, Nick Martini. And here's the 2-1 pitch. And it's a ground ball hit to first, fielded by Barnes. And Brandon will flip it to Stephen Fife. You got a new team in your conference, Wichita State, which is exciting for you because you get to go back to your home state of Kansas.
I am, and they actually just released a schedule where they're one of our home and away partners. So I've already texted everybody back home, expecting at least 50 people minimum there. So it'll be a fun time. I know Kansas is not too exciting, as Lisa calls it a flyover state, but it is my home state, so.
I'm sure Lisa wasn't happy to see that UConn is also a home-and-home opponent.
You know, we'll take it. I think whenever we're not playing them home and home, they probably don't think too much of our program. So we'll take that compliment right now and continue to get better.
Luke Voigt will step in.
My general impression is this one's rolled towards third base. Aviles.
Mike Aviles across
Hold
the
that
diamond.
thought.
1, 2, 3. As Dosha, you'll learn when we have a guest, the innings always go fast, so we like to keep you.
And you got one waiting.
Then
You're keeping me, and you got me waiting, so.
We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Back after this on Fox Sports 1280. Back here at the ballpark, we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Our thanks to Dosha Woods and, of course, the Tulane women's basketball team. It's great to have them here at the ballpark. It's great to see them here, and certainly we'll be rooting on them as we head into the basketball season, which, believe it or not, is probably right around the corner. We have another guest, and stepping in is Mia Borders. And Mia, nice job on the anthem tonight.
Oh, thank you so much. That was the first time I've ever done it in front of people, so that's
really
very exciting.
Wow, that's got to be
not
difficult.
the easiest song to sing.
It is not. Fortunately, I've been singing it since I was maybe 2. I think that was the first song I learned. So.
Can you sing "O Canada"?
I can sing it in French, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
We learned it in elementary school for some reason.
Oh, sweet.
Very cool. I like your baby cake shirt.
I played for
thank you.
Montreal baseball
Oh, wow.
back in my other lifetime, and that's what,
Nice.
we would hear that
Very
one on
cool.
the road and at home, because they would do both national anthems.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, boy, well, can we get the national anthems over with so we play ball?
Yeah, I can't imagine. Wow.
Wow, knowing that the French version, that's awesome. 0-2 pitch here to Sierra, and it's going to be taken here for a ball. Well, I know you did the podcast interview the other day, so we're trying to get you some extra publicity, so it's great to have you here. And
Oh, it's great to be here. This is, like I said, it's a bucket list thing for me.
It's
So
a beautiful night for baseball.
it really is.
We were looking for an excuse to say that.
No, it couldn't be better.
2 balls and 2 strikes now. Moises Sierra.
Well, 2 pretty good arms tonight working, and offense is at a premium. Nobody on the board as yet. Did you see that?
Oh, my goodness.
Pitch missing inside here for a ball. It's now 3. Are you from here?
I am born and raised.
All right.
Uptown girl.
Uptown.
Where'd you
girl.
go to school? High school.
I actually went to boarding school in Connecticut.
Yes.
So that's
So
where I
that
got
would
my
explain
hockey.
why you would sing "O Canada" and why you would be a hockey fan.
Well, they made me learn. We learned a bunch of French stuff in
3-2.
New Orleans Elementary. So
3-2 pitch.
Fastball, outer edge.
Strikeout.
Good night.
So we're 1 away. It brings to the plate Destin Hood, who will step into the batter's box.
4 Ks for Flaherty.
21-year-old pitcher out there today, and he's
Pretty good
been
stuff.
pretty good so far.
21.
Well, that's unusual for the AAA level. Normally you're not going to get here until you're 23, 24.
Mm-hmm.
But this kid has shown all of the ability to move him a little faster through the minor league system.
Yeah. Wow.
You can see he's got a good fastball, but he can use his breaking stuff. He'll pitch backwards. He'll show you that off-speed stuff early, and we saw him do that where you're 0-2 and you haven't seen his fastball yet.
1-1 pitch here, swung out and missed here for a strike. It's now the ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 now to the batter, Destin Hood.
Who is one of our better hitters. He singled his first time up. He got a hanging breaking ball, but man, when Jack Flaherty locates his stuff, he's a handful.
1 ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2. And he is a
Right, 3 on a
strikeout.
breaking ball.
A strikeout, and just like that, 2 up and 2 down. Now, you do a lot of singing, though, right?
I do. I try to stay busy, at least 1 or 2 gigs a week.
Yeah.
Around town, try and get out, once a month at least.
Now, if I wanted to follow where you were going, where would I look you up?
MiaBorders.com.
That's pretty easy enough, right?
I try to make it as simple as I can.
What's your repertoire? What are you more comfortable singing?
Besides the anthem.
I mean, in your music repertoire.
My original music is a lot of soul and
Yeah.
R&B. I love listening to that sort of music, and also New Orleans funk and blues.
Yep.
I like a mix of everything. I try to keep it fresh.
Well, here, there's so much influence.
Mhm.
If you get around. When I first came to New Orleans, I mentioned that the late gig at all the jazz clubs was 11 o'clock.
Mhm.
It's not that way anymore. And, I couldn't have run around and met all the musicians I met when I was doing TV here when I first came to New Orleans. And hanging out with some, world-class players who were all, I was a sports guy when I first came here, and
Mhm.
they want to talk about the Saints, and I want to talk about the gig, I want to talk about the set. What was this all about, or what was going on here, So I traded them a little information for what I hope was education.
Nice. Good. That's what it's all about.
Now,
That's
this
why I
is-
love being on the road.
Yeah, and it's a tough life. You're not taking the easy road when you decide to be a musician.
Certainly not. My family likes to remind me of that.
3-2 pitch
He
gonna
walked
miss.
Avila.
Ball 4, so a walk here. First walk issued. So with a runner at first base and 2 outs, it brings up Brandon Barnes.
Any influences of in the music world today? Any people that influence where your style or where you wanted to go? I know that's a cliche.
No, I mean I'm never tired of giving props to Bill Withers and Etta James.
Yeah. Oh wow.
That's my 2 go-tos. I love Gladys Knight, Stevie Wonder, and then of course moving more contemporary, Mark Broussard from Carencro, Louisiana, is one of my favorite musicians, and a super sweet guy. I was lucky enough to meet him a couple times. So.
Say that name again.
Mark Broussard.
Oh yeah.
No balls and 2 strikes now with 2 down.
When I came to New Orleans, I was hanging out listening to George Porter play, who practically invented funky bass. And,
oh man!
And some of the meters guys.
0-2 pitch, soft liner hit at second base, and Breivik Valera is there to make the catch, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, a walk, a man left. All game heads to the 5th inning. It's still scoreless here at the Shrine on Airline. Cakes and Redbirds on Fox Sports 1280. Back here at the ballpark, ball game's going to move into the top half of inning number 5. Cakes have got themselves in a scoreless ball game. It's been quite the pitcher's duel here in the early going here tonight. We're welcoming in Mia Borders, who's joining us, and Mia, it's been a lot of fun. It was a great job hearing you do the anthem, and
thank you.
Fans want to now you can download your music too, I would assume.
Yeah, everything's any way you get music.
Yeah, anyway, and I mean
it's tough to keep up, but yeah, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon.
Yeah, there's all types of those new streaming services and all that. They pop up all the time.
These kids today.
Yeah, I stick with just the iTunes and be done with it like that, I guess. Keep it simple.
With all of these sources, is it harder or easier for the performers to get paid?
It's easy to get paid. It's very difficult to get paid a fair amount. A few hundred streams is a couple dollars. But it's about getting the music out there, and the more people can hear it, the better.
Yes.
They'll come out to shows and they'll support that way. So it's good.
0-2 now to the batter, Carson Kelly, the young catcher. Ground ball right side. Going to be fielded by the second baseman. Throws it to Fife covering, and he got him.
It's not the easy way. Barnes really roamed from first base on that play. That's not his play, and that's, when you're putting a guy at first base doesn't play there a lot, you can see in the replay he's going way too far to get that ball. That's an easy roller to second base, and he should have been covering on that and make it easier.
So here's Harrison Bader, who will step into the batter's box.
4-1 is the tough way to do it. I'm explaining to Mia how every position has a number. 4 is the second baseman, the pitcher's 1. So if you put 4-1 on your card, that's a ground ball to the second baseman, to the pitcher covering first base.
So we can teach you a little about baseball, and you can, good luck trying to teach me about music.
Well, I think I agree with Duke Ellington. There's only 2 kinds of music: good music and the other kind.
Oh, I was going to go with country and western.
Both kinds? You're a fan of both kinds? I like both kinds.
No, I only say that because it's a good line in the movie Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
2 balls and no strikes.
Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
There you go.
2-0 pitch missing here for a ball. 3 balls. Do you have a gig locally coming up anytime in the next couple of days?
Tomorrow night I'll be at Oak Wine Bar, right on Oak off of Carrollton. It's a super nice spot. It's a very mellow gig. For those that saw me at Wednesday at the Square with the big 7-piece, it's going to be totally different.
Well, that's very cool. 3 balls and a strike. Here to the batter, Harrison Bader. We got a scoreless ball game here in the 5th inning. And the 3-1. Little roller. back in front of the mound, in front of the plate to catch up with it. Throws it on the first, and he just did get him.
Bader's got speed, and, you know, he rolled that one, swinging roller down the third baseline. Cabrera, the catcher, jumped on it quickly, but Bader can fly.
Take another look if you're checking out the TV replay. As you can see, the little dribbler in front, that's pretty impressive. And he looked like he might have been safe.
We're not appealing to the replay.
We don't have replay in this rule. But
you're not allowing that.
Here's Patrick Wisdom, homered yesterday, fly to center field in his first at-bat.
I know one thing, the soft contact continues for Stephen Fife.
Pitch going to be low and in.
He is making good pitches.
Pitch count is efficient. He's doing it here today, and this has been fun.
A lot of movement on everything he's running up there, and hitters have not figured it out.
Popped him up. And this one is into right. Sierra is there, and he makes the catch. Mia, appreciate you joining us. MiaBorders.com to follow you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks. Great job with the anthem.
Thank you.
Ball game heads to the bottom of the fifth, scoreless on Fox Sports 1280. Bottom of the fifth. Cakes and Redbirds are scoreless. Both these pitchers have been outstanding here today. This has been a lot of fun to watch this type of pitchers duel. We really haven't had many of these. I mean, you got two pitchers really getting it done here tonight. Ramon Cabrera will step into the batter's box to lead it off. He lined out to the shortstop back in the second.
Yeah, it was a soft little line drive, but you know what? If he got it up in the air, it would have been something. 2 base hits back in the first inning are all anybody has in this ball game.
Pitch going to be taken here for a strike, 0-1. No balls and a strike.
That's again where you saw the young right-hander. Flaherty starts Cabrera off with a breaking pitch.
A one-pitch ground ball right side. Valera has it go by him and into shallow right field.
Yeah, it was hit pretty hard, but it's a catchable ball, and it should be E4, but we'll take a base runner.
They did score that in error.
Tough play. You know, he was right on the edge of the grass and the dirt where they meet, and moving to his glove side. Cabrera hit that ball pretty hard, and I think it just got him on a bad sort of hop and ate him up a little bit. Valera let it get by him.
Yep. It was a hard hit ball, but certainly I felt like it was playable, and it looked like he didn't get a whole lot of effort. You know what I mean? It looked like he kind of just short-armed it. Yeah.
He wasn't anxious to get in front of it, and I don't know if that would have helped.
No,
but
not sure either.
Playing it to his glove side.
I'd like to look at the replay and see whether or not I could see that one differently. The 0-1 pitch going to be up in the away for a ball. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, the thing you don't know, because you're not down there with a glove on your hand, is what did that thing do anything?
Take a funny
in
hop.
The dirt or get a little tough hop for him.
If it does take a tough hop, then you've got to take that into account. But I didn't look that way for me.
Usually, it better be a real bad hop, because if it's something more subtle, which also can cause you to miss it, because it did hit him in the glove. He just didn't stop it. It dribbled past, and Cabrera's there.
2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 pitch runner is going to be going, and the pitch is fouled back.
Peter Mooney, a contact hitter, was had a swing and a pitch really tough, hard on him, but he fouled it off anyway to protect the runner. Mooney's not a bad guy to hit and run with, I wouldn't think. He's a contact hitter. Doesn't strike out much.
2 balls and 2 strikes now. Here's the 2-2, and it's going to be fouled off.
That's a tough pitch. Hard stuff down and away. Mooney had a pretty good pass at it.
That's now 2 balls and 2 strikes here to the hitter.
Get out of here. Little off-speed pitch popped up, lands on the top of the visiting dugout, out of play as Patrick Wisdom, Memphis' third baseman, roams over there to give it a look, but no chance for him. Staying alive is the music in the Shrine on Airline, and that's what Peter Mooney's trying to do here with a 2-2 count. Nobody out. Runner at first.
2 balls and 2 strikes, and the 2-2 pitch is going to be ball 3.
Well, with Mooney up there, I think you got to start him. You got to run him at first base. Take your chances.
Three and 2 now to the batter, Peter Mooney. And a 3-2. Ground ball right side. Second baseman is up with it. Throws it on to first base for the out. It will get Cabrera to second base.
Almost Mooney got on top of it. It hopped a little, and that gave Valera a chance to get to it. Threw him out, so it's a useful at-bat. He gets the runner to third base, second base rather, with the pitcher up there. Fife probably butting him over. I don't know. Fife can hit a little bit now. I'm thinking you got to let him swing the bat, but, we'll see. Yeah.
Pitch
Fife can hit.
Outside here for a ball. 1-0 now with 1 away.
Fife got pitched to his first time up and struck out. First baseman pinching in like he's going to bunt.
1-0 pitch going to be taken here for a strike, and the count evens now to the ball and a strike.
Third baseman Wisdom playing even with the base. I think Fife gets the hit here and help himself.
1-1 pitch missing outside ball 2. It's now 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 now to the batter, Stephen Fife.
First baseman backed up now. They're like, no, he's not going to be bunting.
Fife has 3
Why
hits
would he?
this season and 13 at-bats. Ground ball hit towards third, and it's going to be up the line foul. And we'll try it again now with the count being 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, I was thinking he's one of your better hitting pitchers. You're having trouble doing anything against Flaherty. If you bunt him over to third base, you haven't done anything. If you get him there with 2 outs, take a couple of pops, see if you can get something going. So Fife is hitting away.
2-2 pitch swung through and struck him out.
He got pitched to like a
6th K of the day for Flaherty. 2 outs and a runner at second base.
Okay.
Brings up the top of the batting order here in Nick Noonan.
Flaherty elevated that fastball that gets up to 91, 92 tops.
Noonan steps in, and the pitch going to be swung out and missed here for a strike, 0-1.
That's a grown-up pitch right there with a runner in scoring position. He started Noonan off with a pretty good curveball. Strike 1 with 2 outs and a runner at second base. That's a grown-up selection right there in my book.
No balls and a strike. The 0-1 pitch going to be taken here for a ball, and the count evens now at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Missed upstairs with a good fastball.
1-1 now to the batter, Nick Noonan. And the pitch going to miss here for ball 2. It's now 2 balls and a strike now to the batter, Noonan.
He had a possible base hit taken away from him on a real good sliding play by Brevik Valera, the second baseman for Memphis. 2-1 coming. Swing and a miss at a fastball. Wow. So it's been interesting tonight. Not a whole lot of offense. Only 2 base hits in this ball game as we play in the bottom of the 5th with 2 out.
Two balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch popped him up left side, and it's into the dugout. For those radio listeners, we apologize. We did have an outage. Got knocked offline. But we're back, and hopefully we're good to go.
Perfect. Well, we got a pretty good one going here. It's Noonan hanging in there at 2-2 with a runner in scoring position in a 0-0 game.
Yeah, this has been a very good pitcher's duel. Fife has gone 5 scoreless. Flaherty 4 2/3. Neither one of them has thrown it. Well, Flaherty's thrown 87 pitches. Fife just 55. Swung through and struck him out. A strikeout of Noonan, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, an error, and a man left on base. We played 5. Cakes and Redbirds scoreless on Fox Sports 1280. Scoreless ball game. Shrine on Airline. Beautiful night for a baseball game here at the ballpark. Top of the 6th inning. And stepping into the batter's box here for Memphis is the second baseman, Breivik Valera.
Well, this organization just loaded with prospects, and Valera is one of them, moving up the chain.
And the pitch here to Breivik Valera going to be taken here for strike 1.
Valera from Montalban.
Ground ball hit towards short. Mooney is up with it, throws it on to first base for the out.
Took a big goofy hop in front of Mooney, who handled it with one hand. Threw Valera out on the run. At least that funny hop happened a little ways away from him, gave him plenty of time to adjust at shortstop.
Wilfredo Tovar, and the pitch is going to be up and in for ball 1. 1-0 now with 1 away.
Tovar took a curveball for strike 3 his first time up back in the 3rd inning.
1-0 pitch, line shot, hit right to the shortstop. To the second baseman, Noonan.
Yeah, they had Noonan swung around towards second base, and that little humpback liner there, he hit it good enough, but no problem for the second baseman, Noonan, to handle it. It's right there where he was standing, more or less. So 2 quick outs. You know, Fife came into this inning with like 55 total pitches, pitching here in the top of the 6th.
That's really impressive.
Pitch count is nothing, given all the strikeouts too. But he's gotten a lot of soft outs. You know, he's gotten some soft contact early in the count. You know.
Well, 1 pitch going to be swung out and missed here for strike 2. It's now 0-2 now to the batter, Jack Flaherty.
You know, and he really has. Fife, you know, in that stretch that ended before Round Rock.
0-2 pitch swung out and struck him out. That'll end the inning. How about that? Another punch out. That's number 7 on the day for Stephen Fife. In the inning, 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Cakes and Birds, scoreless on Fox Sports 1280. Cakes and Redbirds, scoreless. Been a fun one thus far. Chad Hinshaw going to lead things off here in the bottom of inning number 6. Pitcher's duel here today, as it has been quite the matchup here between Flaherty, the young 21-year-old, and meanwhile the veteran 30-year-old Stephen Fife. Both have pitched gems. Neither team has really threatened yet. And here we are in the 6th inning. Chad Hinshaw will step into the batter's box.
Well, Chad's had himself a couple of pretty decent at-bats. He's 1 for 2, singled his first time up. Hit one hard to the first baseman, who made a great stop and flipped it to the pitcher. So he's had some good hacks at him.
Pitch going to be outside here for a ball.
Starts him off with a curveball that misses. Hinshaw, of course, hit that home run to win yesterday's game. And out of the Angels organization.
Miguel Sokolovic, who was the losing pitcher in the ball game yesterday, begins to warm up. 2-0 pitch, popped him up. This one on the infield. Flaherty yields to Voigt, the first baseman, who makes the catch. Well, the one big difference in this pitcher's duel between Fife and Flaherty is that Fife has a tremendous pitch count. As so far in this ball game, Stephen Fife, through 5 innings, has not thrown nearly the amount of pitches as Flaherty. Flaherty's into the 90s.
Yeah, I think, I wouldn't be surprised if he's through 6 innings. Fife has probably in the 60s somewhere.
Fife is at 62.
Yeah.
Flaherty, that was his 93rd pitch.
Wow.
This one is going to be fouled off.
Yeah, he's gone a little deeper in some counts and given up a couple of base hits, walked a guy, had an error. So
obviously the Redbirds thinking about the bullpen. You don't want a pitcher to go too deep into the triple numbers. When you get to 100, they're usually ready to.
Yeah, that's enough.
That's enough.
That is enough. Now, the 30-year-old Stephen Fife has been, so much more effective, even with all his strikeouts. He's pitched to a lot of contact early in the count.
Ball and 2 strikes now to the batter. Moises Sierra. And now the 1-2. And the pitch going to be a ground ball right side. Second baseman ranging over is Breivik Valera, who picks it up and throws it on to first base for the out.
Well, Sierra hit it a little bit, but it was on the ground and not going to get by second base. Steered that one in the hole. He might have had a chance, but a routine ground out to second base, and there's 2 gone.
2 down for Destin Hood. You mentioned Hood had a base hit earlier in the ballgame. He had 2 hits yesterday, including the 2-run home run in the 6th.
Yeah, we had a match. We had a match Memphis in long balls to win that one.
The 1-0 pitch swung on, and that was, wasn't a pretty game, as obviously there was 4 errors combined between the 2 teams. I said to Arnie Baylor last night that was probably one of the best games we've had here at home all year. And what I meant by that was not that it was a pretty game with 4 errors and, some base running blunders and so forth, but when you get, a 2-run home run in the 6th that gave us the lead, and they hit a 2-run homer in the 7th that gave the Redbirds the lead, and then a 2-run homer by the Cakes in the 8th to win it. I think that's the kind of game that's riveting back and forth. Yep. Late stages, good pitching, and some key hits in some big moments that made it a fun game. The 1-2 pitch.
Yes.
Hood is gone on strikes. Inning is over. We're through 6. Cakes and Redbirds. Scoreless on Fox Sports 1280. Six innings in the books. Beautiful night for a ball game here at the Shrine on Airline, and the Cakes and the Redbirds for New Orleans. No runs on 2 hits, no errors. For Memphis, no runs on no hits and 1 error. Todd Cunningham will step into the batter's box. the top of the batting order, set to bat for the third time against Stephen Fife, who has struck out and flied to right. And the first pitch here from Fife is going to be taken here for strike one. 0-1 now to the batter, Todd Cunningham. Ground ball, there it is. First hit of the ball game happens here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, left it a little bit out over the plate to a guy that can swing the bat a little bit. It was banged through. First hitter in the 7th inning. He had 6 innings of 3 up, 3 down. Nice going, Stephen Fife.
He had faced the minimum and was rolling pretty good. He had the pitch count. You know, you start thinking to yourself, okay, he has thrown few enough pitches that he could pace himself to go the distance here tonight.
So Nick Martini, who's grounded out to the first baseman twice.
And there's a little flare, and the hit and run was on, and it's going to find a hole through the left side.
Well, that is just flat bad luck. They started the runner. Martini hit a big high hopper over the third baseman's head. The shortstop was covering second, and it rolled softly into left field. First and third, nobody out, and you know what? That's a bad break right there. But a good piece of hit and run hitting, I might add, by Nick Martini. Shaken, not stirred.
It just doesn't get old, does it?
I love it. You can say it once or twice, can't you, again?
Absolutely. Runners at first and third base. Pitch going to be just outside for ball one. So now, not only is the no-hitter gone, now the shutout is in serious jeopardy. You got runners at first and third and nobody out. Fife delivers, and the pitch is going to be fouled back.
The thing about Fife is, you know, he's got a lot of fire going on. You know, when he gets in trouble like this, he doesn't get afraid. He gets angry. There's a difference.
1 ball and 1 strike now to the batter, and the 1-1 is going to be up and in, ball 2, and it's now 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 now to the batter, Luke Voigt. This is a guy that has done some damage, 34 runs batted in.
Yeah, he's a pretty good right-handed hitter. There's no doubt about that.
Fife delivers, pitch swung out and missed. So you got a runner at third base and nobody out. So you have only a few options. As the infield is not in, pop up on the infield would be nice. Pop up on the shallow outfield would be nice. A strikeout would be clutch.
Yeah, I think they're trying to play the, you know, they're trying to play the double play, but look where the shortstop is standing. If that ground ball is to second base, you think he's got any chance at turning 2?
2-2, and here's a fly ball into right. This will drive in a run. His heading back is going to be the right fielder. That's over his head. I thought it would be caught. Instead, Cunningham scores. Martini goes first to third, and in at second base is going to be Luke Voigt. Well, that looked immediately to me like it was going to be a fly ball to right field, and that would be deep enough to tag the runner, but instead, it kind of has some carry to it, and it gets over the head of the right fielder, and it scored a double.
Yeah, you look at it, this is a pretty tough play for Sierra. He's going back, reaching up. Might have gotten a little piece of it, but that thing was on the track, and the wind was not hurting it much at all. A right-handed hitter with a little pop the other way. Voigt drives in a run. Now that's second and third, and nobody out. A 1-0 ball game.
And the problem is they're still in trouble. Little roller hit to short. Shortstop is up with it. It's going to throw it on to first base. They're going to get the runner, the batter, Carson Kelly, but another run is in. So with 1 out now, 2 runs are in, and a runner at third base.
Well, you know, No, that's a good piece of hitting by Voigt. The double over Sierra's head with 2 strikes was a good piece of hitting.
So now the infield will come up and play just off the grass.
Yeah, with the runner at third and that's all with 1 out, you want to cut it off if you can. You've given up 2.
Runner at third base. You don't want to give up any more. 2-0 Redbirds here in the 7th. Here's the 0-1. Infield up on the grass. Here's the pitch. Going to be a fly ball down the right field line, slicing into the Party Shack foul, and we'll try it again.
With second and third, you really couldn't bring the infield in because you don't want to.
Well, it could catapult into a 5-run inning, and you look back and be like, why were we trying to hold back 1? Now we gave up 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do get it.
Yeah.
Like,
here now with
now
one,
you
one
can
runner left, you can gamble.
Because if the worst case scenario, you give up another run.
Right.
0-2, swung on and fouled off.
He hits a big fly ball or something like that. What's the difference?
What's the difference, right?
You can hold that run there. Shame it worked out the way it worked out, but you had Stephen Fife, a no-hitter through 6. Then he gives up single, double, and there's 2 runs on the board. It'd be great if he could just work his way out of this little fix. Oh, where was it?
0-2 pitch missed here, and it's now a ball and 2 strikes.
0-2 curveball. That looked pretty good. Rat.
1 ball and 2 strikes now with 1 away. Runner at third base, as we mentioned, the infield is pulled in. The 1-2, fly ball into right center. Sierra charging in, he's going to make the catch.
Wow.
And the runner did not tag.
What is that?
Third base,
Wow.
and Luke Voigt.
You know, I don't know that Voigt. Boy, that was lined into.
That one almost went over his head and went to the wall. He charged it in a hurry. Luke Voigt's a first baseman. Luke Voigt,
You got to be tagging up.
you got to tag there.
Yeah, he just didn't.
You know, that's one of those ones, if you get thrown out at the plate to end the inning, you're the third base coach, you walk into the dugout and say, you know what, I rolled the dice and I lost.
Yeah.
They had to make a great catch and a great throw home. And the way that ball was smoked, I don't know if Sierra would have made that strong of a throw home. Ground ball to short, they're not going to score the run. Mooney is up with it, we'll take it, but they do get a couple of runs. 2 runs on 3 hits, and a man left at third base. Our ball game is going to head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Stretch time at the ballpark. It's the Cakes trailing it 2-0 on Fox Sports 1280. Our ball game, 7th inning stretch. Folks settling back into their seats. 2-0 Redbirds. Memphis getting a couple of runs in the top of the 7th inning. They had a chance for a 3rd run, and they did not send them on a line drive hit to right field.
Yeah, I believe just a base running blunder. You at the very least have to go tag up on that ball up in the air to right field. As it turns out, Sierra slightly misjudged it. Might not have been in any position to make the throw.
Right.
If you're tagged up, you go
score.
and score.
And if Sierra doesn't make the catch, it doesn't matter where you are. You would have scored from second, so there's no reason to try to get a lead off a third.
Yep.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on. Well, you remember when Memphis was here on opening weekend, you know, we played these guys 5 times, April 6th through April 11th. They made a number of base running blunders. Now, they've cleaned that game up since then, but
Mark Montgomery, guys, got some pretty
ball
good
to
stuff.
third baseman Wisdom throws, it's high, and the Cakes have got themselves a base runner.
It's got to be an error on the third baseman. Bad throw. Avila's, as he has done since he got here on May the 11th, running the ball out, not conceding the ground ball to the third baseman.
E5, and it brings to the plate Brandon Barnes.
Montgomery 26 years old. He's been at the AAA level since 2013 and had a fair amount of success there. Has yet to go to the big leagues, but he's been a good guy for them out of the pen.
This one is fouled back.
Saved one of 2 tries for Memphis this season.
No balls and 1 strike now to the batter, Brandon Barnes.
He's in the Yankees organization at Scranton Wilkes-Barre for a while.
0-1 now to the batter.
The Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. I'm reading that name here because I didn't know what they were.
Well, they were the Red Barons for a while.
Slider, strike 1, or strike 2 rather, to Barnes. Montgomery features a fastball in the low 90s, tops out, and a slider, pretty good one.
Throw over to first and back into the bag. Is a ball. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cakes and Redbirds. It's a 2-0 ball game. And the 0-2 pitch. This one is going to be popped up.
Get out of here.
Foul ground, first base side, and into the seats about 10 rows up.
Pretty good hack at it by Barnes. He got under it a little bit, and it fouled into the right side stand. But I liked him to square that one up. We might have been watching it splash down in the swimming pool.
No balls and 2 strikes now to the batter, Brandon Barnes. Down by a couple of runs. It's a 2-0 ball game here in the 7th. Pitch going to be outside for a ball. It's now 1-2.
Left-hander throwing for the visitors. See who that is.
1 ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 delivery now to the batter, Barnes. Here's a fly ball, well hit into right field. Wind is carrying it. That one's going to get out of here, and we are tied at 2. Woo! Brandon Barnes has gone yard. Home run number 5. Woo!
You know what? That was the swing he missed from the ball. He popped up to foul ground over there. He just squared it up, and it gets up in the wind. And all of a sudden in right field, you ain't got no more ballpark left. Sweet.
Well, that's nice, and you know, you make him pay for the error because that's a 2-run home run. So we are tied at 2 here in the 7th. Well, we gave up 2. We get 2 right back.
With nobody out, and this inning's still alive.
Here's Cabrera, who will step into the batter's box, and the pitch going to be up and away here for ball 1.
My.
1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch going to be taken here for a strike.
That'll put a little life in you. You know, this whole series I felt like this Baby Cakes team has been answering. You know, they take one and they give one back.
1-1, ground ball back to the mound, and Montgomery up with it, throws it on to first base for the out. 1 away for the shortstop, Peter Mooney. Well, now, you know, Memphis had a chance to score that 3rd run. Now how big is that? Because that's the difference in the game.
That's the first thing you thought about. When you don't get one that you should have, you wonder, did we did we help these people out? And you're just hoping they did. Here's Peter Mooney's couple of ground outs to second base.
Pitch going to be upstairs here for a ball. 1-0 now with one away. Short lead erased. It's now a 2-2 ball game, and it's 1-0 pitch going to be rolled up the line. First base side foul. You had yourself a pitcher's duel. All of a sudden, Cakes give up 2 in the 7th. You think about they got the base hit, but then the hit and run, it was just bad luck that the ball bled through the left side, and they had runners at first and third and nobody out. They capitalized on it. 1-1, and here's the Cakes capitalizing on an error, and then Brandon Barnes launching one over the right field wall, and we didn't have a splashdown, but we'll take it. It's still a 2-run homer.
Yeah, it's a darn shame he missed the swimming pool.
Destin, that home run yesterday by Destin Hood was one of the better splashdowns
that
of
thing
recent
looked like
memory.
It skimmed. It was coming on a good angle. Yeah, that's we always love it better when the homeboys do it, but there's just something about that swimming pool that looks like a target.
1-2, swung through and struck him out. Mooney is gone. So with 2 outs, base is empty. It is the number 9 spot, and they're going to pull Fife back.
Are they? Yes, they are.
He was in the on-deck circle looking like he might bat, and now all of a sudden he has been pulled back, and he heads back into the dugout. And they're going to go to the bench here, and it's going to be Cal Tui. So Tui will be brought in to pinch hit here in the 7th.
Well, just like Chris O'Grady yesterday, pretty good outing. 7 innings, 2 runs is all they get to Stephen Fife for.
62 pitches today. He's in exit.
Amazing.
62 pitches, 43 for strikes, and pitch swung on, missed here for a strike.
Pretty good slider, it looked like. It's a hard one from the right-hander, Montgomery.
Actually, that pitch count might be a little off. I don't know if it's updated on my stats page. So
yeah, I think he had more than that. He had 62 through 6, I believe.
Nothing in 1 here in the 0-1 pitch, going to be outside here for a ball. It's now 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 here to the batter. Cal Tui, the pinch hitter. The pitch, ground ball, short, up with it. On to first base is Wilfredo Tovar, and the inning is over. 2 runs on 1 hit, 1 error, nobody left. 7 in the books. We're tied at 2. Head to the 8th on Fox Sports 1280. Ball game moves into the top of the 8th inning. We are tied at 2. 2-2 ball game, top of the 8th inning. Stepping into the batter's box is Breivik Valera, and the pitch going to be taken here for a ball. One and 0. And the 1 ball, no strike pitch. And the 1-1. And it's now one ball and 1 strike here to the batter. And the pitch going to be taken here for a strike. And it's now a ball and 2 strikes. Fife's day is over. He threw 77 pitches, 55 of them for strikes.
Man. Really, you know what? That's an outstanding pitching performance. I'm sorry it got a little rocky, you know, but when you think about how soft his contact was and how many guys Stephen Fife struck out, and they get 2 runs off of you in the 7th inning, you did a good deal.
Ball and 2 strikes now to the batter, Breivik Valera. It's a 2-2 ball game.
Guerra.
Abby Guerra. Ground ball up the middle into center field for a base hit. So Guerra comes in out of the bullpen and immediately gives up a single here to Valera.
Yeah, he hit that fastball pretty hard back up the middle. Upper 80s, cracked 90 or so. With his fastball, he cuts it a little bit. With a slider and, with a curveball and a changeup. Right over the top is Guerra.
Potential pitch hitter on deck for Rangel Ravello.
So here comes Tovar. Rangel Ravello is moved into the on-deck circle for Memphis. And a throw to first. Ball's going to get by the first baseman, Barnes. On his way to second is Valera.
I didn't see that throw. Was it good?
I don't think so. I didn't see it either. I was glancing down. It is a bad throw, E1. I thought it looked low. So now, Stubby Clapp may not have a sign for this, so he is going to walk towards home plate, say, hey, I don't have a sign for this. And he talks it over and what they're going to do here.
Well, he wanted to probably make sure that the hitter, Tovar, knew exactly what was up. So sometimes you'll just use that language thing.
Yep.
No sign language. Use that language thing.
So Tovar. And the pitch going to be up and in. So now you got a runner in scoring position and nobody out.
And they got bullpens busy, so you want maybe Tovar to bunt him over to third, and then you bring in a hitter. You got a pitcher, you know, you're going to come with anyway. So
right. You got a pretty good hitter in the on-deck circles, the probable pinch hitter. So they're actually going to score that E3.
Oh, my. After further review.
Like I said, I didn't really see it. I happened to be looking down. I saw Ravello was moving into the on-deck circle. I was checking to see the jersey number to see who was the probable pinch hitter, and I missed it.
Likewise, I was looking at my iPad, gathering all those poignant statistics.
2-0 pitch.
Oh, by the way, there's a game going on.
It's funny,
in real life.
Baseball's a slow-moving game, and it gives us the opportunity to look at our computers, to look at our stat page, to look at our scorebooks. But you know what? You get caught sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
You usually know when to look up for the pitch, but when they make a pickoff or something like that, that's sometimes where things go wrong.
Well, Guerra's come in here.
And he's given up a walk here to Tovar. So all of a sudden, we went from having a good time and a good pitcher's duel to all of a sudden giving up 2. We get the 2 right back, and you're thinking, all right, things are looking good. We're right back in this ball game, and before you know it, we're back in trouble again.
Last couple of outings. Well, the last outing for Guerra in Round Rock was solid. His couple of outings before that, a little more problematic. So it's
so Scott Budner,
the hitter now for Memphis, is number 4, Rangel Ravello, the Cuban expat.
So you got runners at first and second base here.
I would imagine since you walked Tovar, You didn't send Ravello up there to bunt. I'm just guessing.
Nope. And the pitch, although strategy would say you should probably bunt here.
Well, the next thing out of my mouth was, that might be doing us a favor. You get him to roll one over and a double play ensues. You'll be like, okay, maybe you should have bunted somebody. Send somebody else up there to bunt.
Here's the pitch, a fly ball, well hit into center field, heading all the way back. The center fielder, Hinshaw, will make the catch. Okay. Tagging and advancing is Valera. So in a lot of ways, it's kind of a half a bunt because you get the key runner from second to third, and it doesn't count as a sacrifice fly, but it does move the runner 90 feet away from scoring for one out.
He hit it pretty good, unfortunately, into a little bit of a wind. Good base running play. Valera at second reads that center fielder, and he sees he's going to make that play. You start getting yourself back to second base and tagging up and moving over. So you're at third base now with Todd Cunningham up there, first and third. Tough guy to double up.
Cunningham leads the team with walks. He leads the league in
we're going to squeeze.
Hit by pitches. He's a pretty good hitter. Cunningham third in the league in on-base percentage, and he shows a bunt here for ball one. He did show bunt, like you said, and
well, I don't know. If like squeeze, like safety squeeze, I don't know. I think you got a pretty good contact hitter.
Well, you don't want to have a double play if the Redbirds are going to send the runner, and they're going to throw down to second base, and the throw not in time. Tovar gets in there. Well, that's a big gamble if you're Memphis because a sacrifice fly gets you to the lead, but now that kind of takes away the double play ball. So, in a lot of ways, a good move.
Well, and if you're at third base, why aren't you sort of cheating down there, making sure if he throws that thing through, maybe you walk him? He's trying to throw him out at second base.
Infield is now up on the grass.
Now you got to bring him in and
pitch up and in. Ball two. It's now 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 now with one away and out of the batter, Todd Cunningham. 2-2 ball game. Here's the 2-ball, 1-strike pitch. And the delivery by Guerra, and he's going to swing away, and he's going to roll it foul right at the plate. And we'll try it again now with the count being 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2. 2-2 now here with one away. Runners at second and third. Cakes in a little bit of trouble. Quite a little mess here in the 8th inning.
Yes, indeed.
Javi Guerra coming set in the 2-2. Swung on and a fly ball well struck to center field. Hinshaw coming over. This should tag him. He'll tag him from third base, and scoring the go-ahead run is going to be Breivik Valera. Tovar stays put at second base. A sacrifice fly for Todd Cunningham, his 24th run batted into the season.
That's a good piece of hitting. He's looking to get the ball in the air, put the good part of the bat on it. There's never going to be a play at home, and that's all he wanted to get done this late in the game.
He hit it very deep to center field. You knew you weren't going to have a play. You did your good job of making sure that Tovar did not go to third. And that's where the throw was. Here's Nick Martini, who will step in, the left fielder, 1 for 3 tonight. And the pitch taken here for a strike. So you're down by a run again here in the 8th. No balls and a strike now to the batter. And the 0-1 by Guerra. And it's going to be grounded up the line. First base side, foul, and we'll try it again.
Martini trying to hit himself in the foot. And you're not out of this inning yet, even though it's 0-2 on Nick Martini.
The good news is when the Cakes come to bat in the bottom of the 8th, we do roll to the top of the batting order. So you're going to have some guys that could drive some runs in.
And that's where you hope This is all you give up.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. At the plate, Martini.
You always wonder about that. You know, you 6 innings of no-hit baseball. And
0-2, and the ball's going to kick away. They're going to send the runner.
Don't.
And he does get in there. It's a wild pitch that'll allow the runner to go to third base.
Well, it can be a nebulous problem.
Ball and 2 strikes now for 2. Yeah, if you get the strikeout here, you get the ground out. It really doesn't matter that the runner advanced to third.
Throw another wild pitch, though.
Yep, it becomes a bigger
sorry.
problem. Ball and 2 strikes now to the batter. And the 1-2, and he nearly threw another wild pitch as that was really inside. A nice job done by Ramon Cabrera to keep that ball from getting away.
Don't know how he got out of the way of it, but he did. 1 for 3, Nick Martini. He singled back in that 7th inning. He was the one that hit that little hit-and-run ground ball that hopped over the third baseman's head.
2 balls and 2 strikes here, and the 2-2 is going to miss here for ball 3, and it's now a full count.
Mercy. Well, if you were looking for a little drama,
well, we've had it.
We're getting it. These last couple of innings have been pretty interesting.
You went from a lot of zeros on the board. It was a quiet ball game. Both pitchers dominating to all of a sudden, back and forth we go.
It was about time.
Payoff pitch, 3-2, popped him up into left. Destin Hood makes the catch and the inning is over. 1 run on 1 hit, a walk, and a man left on base. Memphis gets a run. They lead the Cakes 3-2, bottom of the 8th on Fox Sports 1280. Back here at the ballpark, ball game moves to the bottom of inning number 8. It is the Cakes and the Redbirds. And it is now a 3-2 ball game. As a 3-2 game here, stepping into the batter's box is going to be the top of the batting order now, and Nick Noonan. As Cakes now find themselves down by a run, and the pitch is going to be taken here for a ball. It's now 2 balls and no strikes. Noonan today has been quiet. He has struck out twice, has grounded out to the second baseman. He's 0 for 3, 0 for 10 in the series. Noonan swings away. It's going to be popped up, shallow left field. Coming in is the left fielder Martini, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. So with 1 down, so with 1 away, it brings up Chad Hinshaw, who has singled, grounded out to the first baseman, and popped up to the first baseman as well.
Mike's had some good swings at it tonight, so.
And the pitch going to be taken here for a strike, 0-1. No balls and a strike now with 1 away. And the 0-1 going to miss inside for a ball, and the count evens now with a ball and a strike.
We've seen Josh Lucas before, big right-hander. Sinker slider, he can get it into the low 90s.
And the pitch going to be swung out and missed here for a strike. It's now a ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 now to the batter, Chad Hinshaw.
That sidearm, though, must feel like it comes from third base when you're like 6'4", 5.
He's got that extension over there, and the pitch going to miss here for ball 2. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and it's not soft stuff either. He throws hard stuff up there. His fastball, as we mentioned, will crack 90.
2-2 now with one away. And the 2-2, big swing and a miss. Gonna strike him out, and just like that, 2 up and 2 down.
That was the slider that Henshaw got, and it was a good one.
So with 2 away, it brings up the right fielder, Moises Sierra. Activity in the New Orleans bullpen, by the way. Hunter Cervenka beginning to warm up. Here's a line drive into center field, and Sierra is aboard with a base hit. This is the part of the order that here you are in the bottom of the 8th inning. Not saying that the bottom of the order or the top of the order couldn't do it, but this is the part of the order when you're down by a run, you got to get guys on. Sierra gets a base hit. Now you got one of your better hitters in Hood coming to the plate. We saw yesterday.
You can call this the heart of your order without much exaggeration.
I mean, you got Destin here, 14 homers. And the pitch going to be taken here for a strike. Hood's got a hit tonight. He's 1 for 3.
Had a 2-run home run last night. He's just been steadily productive as a hitter.
The 0-1 going to be taken here for a strike. 0-2 now to the batter. No balls and 2 strikes.
Hard stuff down and away, so he saw slider fastball in that order, and it's all of a sudden 0-2 to Destin Hood.
And the 0-2 pitch going to be outside. And it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 now with 2 away.
Lucas has a 4.60 ERA, and I'm looking at it going, how does anybody hit him? 29 and a third innings, 34 base hits. It looks like nasty stuff to me. That's all I can tell you.
1 ball and 2 strikes now with 2 down. 1-2 runner going, and it's going to be swung on and struck him out. Destin is gone, and so are the Cakes here in the 8th. So Lucas gives up a 2-out base hit, but he strikes out Hood. We go to the 9th. It's a 3-2 ball game as you're listening. Cakes baseball on Fox Sports 1280. Ball game's going to head to the 9th inning. Here we are, the Cakes and the Redbirds. It's a 3-2 ball game, as stepping into the batter's box here is going to be Luke Voigt. So Voigt will step in. Here's the pitch going to be skied into center. Center fielder Henshaw is coming over. He'll get underneath it and make the catch for out number 1. Here comes Arnie Baylor. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change here. Heading to the mound also is going to be Cabrera and a couple of the infielders, and it is a pitching change. So a pitching change timeout here at the ballpark. New pitcher coming in out of the bullpen for New Orleans. We'll take a 60-second timeout. It is the Redbirds leading the Cakes 3-2, 1 out of the 9th on Fox Sports 1280. Ninth inning here at the ballpark. Kings and Redbirds. New pitcher coming in here for New Orleans is going to be Hunter Cervenka. So they're going to go to the left-hander here.
Upper 80s, low 90 fastball with a, he'll cut it a little bit.
Kara went an inning and a third. He's going to be tagged with 1 hit, 1 run. So Cervenka comes in here to try to keep this a 1-run ball game as New Orleans down by a run.
I was sort of wondering with the right-handed hitters, unless they just needed to pitch Cervenka. Sometimes the instructions come down the pipeline. This guy's got to pitch.
Yeah, that's the one thing you got to remember. We're here to win ball games, but we're here to develop players and to get people ready for the major leagues for the Miami Marlins. So there are some rules sometimes they like to test guys out in. 1-0 pitch going to be just outside ball 2. It's now 2 balls and no strikes. New Orleans trailing it by a run, by the way, 3-2 here in the 9th.
Cervenka 2 curveballs that missed.
2 balls and no strikes now to the batter. And the 2-0 pitch going to be taken here for a strike. It's now 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the 2-1 delivery. Going to be grounded up the line. Third base side. Foul.
I think that's a right-hander, Sam Tuivalala.
Yeah, that's who that was, yeah. Tuivalala. I don't think we're going to get the matchup I wanted. I wanted to see Tuivalala face Tui. And I wanted the count to be 2 and 2.
There you go. That's just too poetic for words.
And I wanted the count to be 2 and 2 and 2 away, 2 men on.
You could save that one forever.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we still play these guys 8 more times after tonight, so maybe I'll get that.
2 on, 2 out. 2-2 count on.
I tell you, if it happens.
He faces Tuivalala.
It might be one of those, when I get it, I'm going to be laughing and not being able to concentrate.
That looked like a cutter there down and in, and swing and a miss by Carson Kelly.
So with 2 outs.
Cervenka's got a good one. When he could cut that fastball in on right-handed hitters, it's a handful. And he's seeing a couple right now. Here's Harrison Bader, the shortstop. That's not right. The center fielder, I should say.
Bader, 0 for 3 tonight. 1 ball and no strikes now to the batter, Harrison Bader.
Well, he had bad luck. He hit one hard to right field, was caught. Should have been a sacrifice fly, but no. He grounded one down the third baseline that the catcher, Cabrera, jumped on. And, you know, on the replay, we got a little TV hookup here going that looked like he had beat the wrap, but no. So,
and we didn't see that many angles of it, so I'm not. It looked like he did beat the wrap on the angle that we had.
Just looked like it. You know, yeah, we had one view. It wasn't bad.
2 balls, but it's interesting when you do get a replay, and obviously the umpires don't have that same benefit.
Well, you know, and they're looking at the bang bang, you know, and they're listening for the bang of the ball and watching his foot on the base. And
yep.
Usually when you go back and look at it and they're able to do that, they get most of those right.
2 balls and 2 strikes now with 2 away. 3-2 is our score. And the pitch. And it's going to be Foul back. It's now 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 now to the batter. Harrison Bader. Cakes. Redbirds. And the 3-2 delivery. Ground ball hit through the left side and into left field. It's going to be a base hit for Harrison Bader.
Yeah, he went hard on him, and Bader got the head out on it and drove it just past the glove of the diving third baseman, Mike Aviles.
Third baseman number 5, Patrick Wisdom.
Just a good piece of hitting right there. I didn't think that was that bad a pitch.
Well, he probably was due. You know, we see enough baseball. You get robbed of a hit earlier. You know, it's supposed to even out.
Keep putting that thing in play. Well, you know, it's like keep putting it in play hard or difficult. In a difficult way, you're going to get something.
Pitch going to be taken here for a ball. It's now 1-0 now to the hitter.
That's why I hated to hit the ball hard to somebody, because I always felt like I don't have that many in me. Dick Allen, who was a great hitter back in the day in the National League, said to me, when I make out, it just makes me move that much closer to my next base hit. I said, I'd like to believe that too.
Ball and no strikes now to the batter.
You look up Dick Allen's numbers, you'll see why he felt that way.
Patrick Wisdom at the plate. Throw over to first base and back into the bag safely.
Wisdom had a 2-run bomb yesterday that looked like the ball game in the bottom of the top of the 7th inning until Chad Henshaw trumped him with a 2-run blow in the bottom of the 8th for the Baby Cakes.
Ball and no strikes here, and the 1-0 going to be taken here for a strike, and it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 now with 2 down.
Good fastball down and away from Wisdom. Right-handed hitter who he wants to yank you. He's hit 10 home runs this year, and that one he hit yesterday against the wind was impressive.
Throw down to first. Back into the bag safely is going to be Harrison Bader.
Good pitch from Cervenka.
One ball and 2 strikes now to the batter. And the 1-2.
Baby, where was that?
Misses.
Looked like Cabrera just sat there with it a little bit, but the home plate umpire, Derek Eaton, wasn't having any of that. Calls it ball 2. 2-2. 2 out.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch, going to be a pop-up into shallow right field, and the right fielder coming in is Sierra, and it's going to be the catch is made. So here we go, last chance for the Cakes, down by a run. Tui Balala from San Mateo, California, 24 years of age. He's been up in the big leagues. Tui Balala coming in here for Memphis to try to finish it off here for the Redbirds.
Yeah, he's bounced up and down a little bit. This is a big arm here, mid-90s four-seam fastball and a curveball behind that. And he starts off the Baby Cakes hitter, Mike Aviles, with a first-pitch curveball.
4 saves and 4 opportunities for Tui Balala in AAA this season. He's got fantastic numbers, 1-0.
Been in the big leagues each of the last 4 years, 2014, 15, 16, and this year. He pitched in 10 games in St. Louis.
Option to Memphis most recently back on May the 23rd. His numbers in the big leagues, 2-1 with a 3.27 earned run average. He was an all-star each of the last 2 seasons for Memphis. He's holding on to a 1-run lead here in the 9th. Aviles will step in, and the pitch going to be up and away for a ball, and the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I think one of the things they want him to come up with is a cutter to go with that mid-90s fastball.
2 balls and 2 strikes now to the batter, Mike Aviles. And the 2-2, called, 3rd strike.
That ball's off the plate inside, my goodness.
Mike did not
knocked
like
him
it.
down. I'm sorry.
And he has some words here with Derek Eaton. He's gone. I was actually surprised he gave him that much leeway, and now he's going to get back there and tell him what he thinks.
Yep.
So Mike Aviles letting the plate umpire know, Derek Eaton, that he didn't like the call, and Arnie Baylor had a few words to say as he makes his way back to the third base coach's box. Either seemed to be very happy with the call, and
it looked like
it did look like it was
like he had to dodge out of the way of that one inside, and you know, I know he's got a good fastball, but come on.
So stepping into the batter's box is going to be Brandon Barnes. And Barnes steps in, and the pitch is going to be taken here for a strike. 0-1 now to the batter. Oh, 1 pitch going to be popped up right side.
Good hack by Barnes right there at a good fastball.
Nothing in 2 now to the hitter. Barnes hit the 2-run homer in his last at-bat. Here's the pitch, grounded towards short. Shortstop Tovar on to first base for the out. 2 up and 2 down here in the 9th. And this will bring to the plate the catcher, Ramon Cabrera. Well, you're down to your final out. You're facing some nasty stuff from Sam Tuivailala. You'd like to get a man on, obviously.
Yeah.
So you can at least have the go-ahead run coming to the plate. You're down by a run. It's been a well-played ball game here tonight in regards to the first 6 innings. This pitching from both Jack Flaherty of Memphis and Stephen Fife from New Orleans dominated.
Really?
And it's been kind of back and forth ever since we dipped into the bullpens. Cabrera steps in, and he takes the pitch here for a strike. 0-1. No balls and a strike.
Tuivailala was originally an infielder.
He was a shortstop, right?
Yeah, man. He played infield, and you know, they just felt like, you know, yeah, pretty good power arm. Put him on the mound, and he was like mid-90s, and they went, you know, this could work because you're not hitting the ball too much. If you were hitting the ball, that would be different.
0-2 pitch. Fly ball, well struck into center field. Center fielder Harrison Bader is there. Catch is made, and the inning is over. 1-2-3. Cakes go down in the 9th inning, and the Memphis Redbirds will defeat the Cakes tonight 3-2. Well, we'll be back in a moment. Little post-game wrap-up coming up as Memphis goes on to win it here tonight And they split the series here at the Shrine on Airline, 2 games each. Back after this on Fox Sports 1280.
Be sure to check out Randy's 60-minute website or located on the first floor. Take the stairs to elevator located directly across from the customer services or shop online at www.gatebaseball.com/shop. Good night. Please drive home safely.